Hey, how's it going, guys? Another gear review for you. Another County-Com item for you. Today we're talking about the mid-breach robotics bar, which is this right here. Basically, it's just a cut down or smaller version of their breacher bar. Now, here's the original breacher bar, which I have modified. Okay, it comes basically like this, just this size, and I'll measure these in a second for you here. But basically, let me just show you real quick what I did, because I know everyone's going to ask me anyway. First thing I did was cord wrapped it, just so it's more comfortable. Gave myself a little bit of a lanyard here. Okay, just a couple fingers into if I need to. I have hacked and pried and did all kinds of stuff with this bar. It's an absolutely awesome tool. But I think there's a definite, interest for something that's smaller, and that's all this is. It's basically a smaller, a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner version of the original. And this is great because there might be pockets, where someone can't necessarily fit this, but they can fit this. So I think it's a really cool item. I think a pry bar in general is a good tool to have, kind of in the wings. It's not something I would, have in my pocket all day long. I mean, I don't do prying that often. In fact, I probably pry maybe once a month if I'm lucky. So it's a very useful tool, but not something you use all the time. But I do like the smaller version here. That's why I got it. But anyway, let me show you what I did with this one. Besides the cord wrap handle here, I did do a bunch of grinding. I sharpened it from right here to right here. You can see where it tapers back to its original thickness up here. So basically the sharpened edge is between my fingers. Okay, I did that basically just for a little bit of hacking power. Just did a convex grind all the way to the end here. I also tapered the top to give myself somewhat of a point as opposed to having the flat tip. Okay, now this is an advantage in some cases and a disadvantage in others. I don't have the chisel power that I had before when it was its original shape. However, now that I have the little kind of a tip here, it's easier for me to get into tighter spots. Okay, so it's a pro and a con at the same time. But anyway, I just want to show you that, my modifications to this, because I know people are going to ask. But again, kept that tip really, really thick. Okay, it's full thickness because, if nothing else, this is still a pry bar, and I don't want to, it's not a knife. In other words, I'm not trying to turn it into a knife. I'm trying to keep the basic tool a pry bar, because I have plenty of knives, but I need a pry bar. So anyway, very cool. Let me give you the dimensions on this real quick here. Let's see. This one is, of course you can refer to the old video, but it looks like 8.5 inches long. Okay, this is the original. Let me do the handle here. It looks like 1.5 to 1 3/4 wide. Okay, so that's the original one. Now here's the one I'm talking about today. Give you a measurement on this. This one is, let's see, a little over 6 1/4 inches by, looks like exactly 1 inch. Okay, so 6 1/4 by 1. And it also is thinner in profile as well. So all around, like I said, just a smaller version. And I didn't do anything to this at all. I will do a cord wrap on this as well. I'm not sure if this is going to replace the original one. Like I said, there's been at least 2 cases I can remember where this really came in handy. So I don't, I don't know. I'll probably end up keeping the original one there. And by the way, these are carbon steel. This one here is a 1045 carbon steel. I'm not sure the original, probably the same, if not close. You can see it has rusted on the bottom here, just some surface rust. It's not going to affect the tool at all, even if it was the front portion here, because it is a pry bar. No one cares if it's rusty. It's still going to be effective. But just something to consider there. If you don't want to, see it rusty or have the look of rust, you want to oil them because they are carbon steel. But anyway, let's see here. EOD Robotics Incorporated on the blade. I have it says a cage number here. I guess it's like a SKU. And made in USA, which is always a nice touch. So anyway, like I said, effective little pry bar. What you do get when you get these originally, like this, is you get kind of a grind on the side here as well as the top. Now they don't come sharp. Okay, you can see there's probably a 1 millimeter, flat end or thickness. So it's not tapered all the way down. It's not sharp at all. However, because they do these grinds, I guess from the factory or wherever they're made, it does allow you to sharpen it if you wanted to. Now you're not going to be able to do this hand sharpening. It's going to take you forever. But if you have a grinding stone or grinding wheel or even like a sanding wheel, I don't know why I can't think of the name, belt sander, sanding wheel. Anyway, if you have a belt sander, you can easily put an edge on this if you wanted to, and sharpen the front so that you can use this as a chisel. Now, the only downside of that is that once you sharpen this, how are you going to store it? Now you need some kind of sheath or some kind of protective covering, so that when you put this in your bag, it's not going to cut your bag up, or yourself. Okay, but real easy. You can take some cardboard and make a cardboard sheath for this, in no time. Basically, cut out a square slightly larger than the tool, and then you just tape it up so you have a little sleeve to put it in. So just something to consider, if you do sharpen it up, to do that so that you're not ripping your bag up, or you don't go to reach in there and grab it and cut yourself. But anyway, I think these are great tools. It's just a smaller version of the original. If you have the original and you like it and you want a smaller one, here you go. Now they offer them. So that's it. Not much more to say. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, guys.